Welcome to the Starborne Awakening Library. Tonight's story is The Little Compass. At the edge of a bustling harbor stood a tiny shop unlike any other. It had no grand sign above its door. No colorful banners fluttered in the breeze. Only a single wooden compass hung quietly above the entrance. Inside worked an old map maker. He was known for drawing the finest maps anyone had ever seen. His maps showed mountains, rivers, forests, hidden valleys, and distant seas. Travelers came from every corner of the world hoping to buy one, yet when they entered, they often noticed something curious. On the corner of the old man's workbench rested a very small compass. Its brass had faded with age. Its glass was scratched. Its needle moved slowly but never seemed uncertain. One day, a young traveler entered the shop. She spread dozens of maps across the table. "I've collected these everywhere," she said. "Each one promised it would lead me where I belong." The old map maker studied the stack. Some maps were beautifully drawn. Others were worn nearly through. He smiled kindly. "And have they?" The traveler lowered her eyes. "They've shown me many places, but I still don't know which way to go." The old man nodded, as though he had heard these words many times before. He gently rolled the maps together and tied them with a piece of twine. Then he placed the little compass into her hand. She looked at it with surprise. "I already have maps." "You do?" he replied. "But maps tell you where roads have been." He paused. "A compass reminds you where you are." The traveler frowned. "It doesn't tell me where my future is." "No. It simply helps you stop walking in circles." She thanked him politely, though she wasn't convinced. The compass seemed far too ordinary. Still, she tucked it into her pocket and continued her journey. Over the following week, she crossed wide valleys. She climbed steep hills. She wandered through forests where every path looked the same. Whenever she felt uncertain, she opened the little compass. It always pointed steadily in one direction. At first, she barely paid attention. She trusted the roads more than the needle. Whenever a crowd hurried one way, she followed. Whenever someone confidently announced a shortcut, she believed them. Each time she wandered farther from where she hoped to be. One afternoon, a thick fog rolled over the hills. The roads disappeared. Even the sun vanished behind the mist. For the first time, there were no signs to follow, no travelers to imitate, no maps that seemed useful, only silence. She reached into her pocket and found the little compass. Its needle remained calm. Without rushing, she followed its quiet direction, step by step, not because she knew exactly where she was going, but because she trusted something steady. Hours later, the fog began to lift. Before her stretched a peaceful valley bathed in golden evening light. She smiled, not because she had found a famous destination, but because she had finally stopped depending on everyone else's direction. Months later, she returned to the old map maker. She placed the compass gently back onto his workbench. "I think I understand now," she said. The old man looked at her with a knowing smile. "What did the compass teach you?" She thought for a moment. "It never chose my path. It simply reminded me to stop letting everyone else choose it." The mapmaker nodded. "Exactly. The truest compass has never lived inside your pocket. It has always lived within you." The traveler looked once more at the tiny brass compass. It seemed no different than before. Yet somehow everything had changed. As she walked away, she no longer searched for someone to tell her where to go. She had learned to listen more carefully, not to the loudest voices around her, but to the quiet direction already waiting within. Sometimes we spend our lives searching for someone to point the way. Yet the greatest journeys begin when we learn to trust the compass we already carry inside. Modern Fables for the Human Spirit. Starborne Awakening. Remember the light. Embody the light.